Folks, hello and welcome to Iron Rations, the early, was it morning, afternoon of Christmas Eve time shift. Woohoo.
Yes.
I am Eric Tenkar. With me is Joe the lawyer,
Hi,
and
everybody. Happy holidays.
I thought briefly of us recording this and then putting it up as a premiere, but then if I put it up as a premiere later on, I'd have to moderate comments as we were actually opening up presents and that.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
That wouldn't be feasible. This way we get it up. We get a few live listeners
hmm
who can either mock us or be nice to us because it's
Mostly
Christmas.
mock, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, it depends on who it is. If it's our gaming group, I'm sure it'll be mostly mocking.
Oh yeah. I let them know we're on. So, and then
Oh,
I throw out a shout out for comment there for topics. And I got a topic. Let me see, from my brother and my friend Dwayne.
okay.
Dwayne had one. Here's a topic: wives that forget 15 things at the supermarket and send their husbands out on Christmas Eve day. So that's actually my brother's. So yeah, so that's his suggestion for a topic. So
Well, see, first off, my wife would never, Rach would never send me out shopping because, when she has in the past for like things of personal necessity, she's seen my look as I came back from the store after buying such stuff, and she's like, "I'll never do that to you again." I love you. I will not put you through. So I don't get that. And I'll be honest with you. The early days of COVID got me spoiled with Amazon Fresh having my food delivered. And as somebody who has to watch what they eat, watch my carb intake and such, as a type 2 diabetic, not walking down the aisles of a supermarket with the impulse buys at high level, you go, ooh, I want those Chips Ahoy.
Yep.
Double chocolate chips. Oh, and they've got fudge covering.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the holidays too, so you justify it all. Everything goes before January 2nd.
Yeah,
right?
so it's like, oh Jesus. So
oh god.
Now doesn't mean I don't go shopping. I'll go to Costco once or twice a month. If I'm up in the Poconos, I'll obviously go to the supermarket because you're not going to get food delivered. But I've gotten used to it, and it isn't so much now because of the never-ending world of COVID, but it's because it keeps those impulse buys in check. Yeah, and Amazon still tries to hit you with the impulse buys.
They do every time you get on there.
Pick up?
Yeah, how about this? How about that? How about fuck you and save me some money here, you asshole? Yeah.
I just want to hit my minimum amount for the free delivery because I'm in Amazon Prime. That's what I want to do. I want to hit my free amount and go through.
I tell you, speaking of health and all that shit, you'll hear me, sniffing and snorting. You might hear Eric sniffing and snorting.
I'll be coughing up chest congestion.
Yeah, we both are sick. We both got a cold, but we both got tested and we're both clear. So I just got my results this morning, actually, just a cold.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I gave my mother her cold, and we just tested my mother for COVID yesterday. And like I told Joe, I said, "Mom, congratulations! You're going to be the parent of a girl and a boy." And she's like,
like I said,
"What the hell are you talking about?" I go, "Well, you already have a girl and a boy. You don't have COVID. We're sorry to tell you that you're negative. You don't have COVID."
I'm still wondering why a girl and a boy. Did you make her pee on it? I mean, what? Should have swabbed the nose, not pee on the thing. Got all confused.
We have the once Omicron hit, and I really digest way too much online media from all matters of perspective, and I was like, all right, so it looks like Omicron is going to be early on. I was saying much more transmissible. Much less symptomatic, much less than the number of hospitalizations and death compared to the number of people that are infected. But if you infect 10 times the people, you're going to increase these numbers anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you might get herd immunity out of this bullshit. Who knows?
Well, and that's what I'd like to think about. But when I saw this going on, I said, you know what? I don't expect to find anything on the shelves at my local Dwayne Reed or any of those places.
Yeah,
Walgreens. I go, let me just go to Amazon. I go, sure enough, they had some of these, the testing kits. There was one that was 2 for like 18.
Yeah.
15. I ordered 2 packs, and I just so we had them. I had them for a couple of weeks, and then yesterday my father was like, "Oh, before we have the rest of the family over the house, shouldn't we check to see if your mother's got COVID?
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't care that I have COVID. Well, if you have COVID, he goes, if you have, and my father was good. He goes, if you have COVID, you gave it to your mother.
Yeah, it's a little guilt in there too, for good measure.
So why don't we just test your mother and then we'll have an idea. I'm like,
a little holiday guilt. Perfect.
So it's less than 5 minutes of prep, including like my mother swabbing her nose and then you putting the nose sample into the solution and then squishing it. And then wait 15 minutes and you get your result. And my mother did not have COVID. So we are working on the scientific assumption that if we gave her cold and it isn't COVID, then we don't have COVID.
You don't have COVID, yeah. I drove 2 hours I drove an hour to a site to wait 2 hours in line in my car to get it tested, and it took 2 days to get it back because it's PCR. But thankfully, all good. I feel better too, just to know you're not going to go to your parents' house and slaughter your whole family with COVID. It just feels kind of all right to know this. So, God, anyway, enough COVID yakking.
Well, I just had to mute myself. It wasn't COVID.
Yeah,
man, I've had just chest congestion for the last. And that's the thing. My neighborhood has this damn cold that's going around. So you're like, people, do you have COVID? No, it's a cold. All right, well.
And then they're looking at you like
exactly the same right now.
Yeah.
You have Omicron, which still makes me think of the Transformers. I don't know.
Right. But it's like people look at you, you sniff or you cough or something, looking at you like you're a vampire. They're holding up the cross with their fingers. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, get away.
You hold up the garlic. That actually might help.
I know, really. Garlic is
antiviral, right? So
yeah.
We're not giving out medical advice. Neither of us
Not
are
at all.
medical professionals. I'm just talking out of my ass.
I'm not a doctor, but I play a cleric in D&D.
Oh, well, actually, I usually do because nobody else wants to play the cleric.
Yeah, you do.
It's like that's okay. I can play a cleric that is as much a warrior as they are a cleric, and we'll see how that works.
Yeah. As long as you keep us alive, you can do whatever you want. That's all that matters.
Oh, you son of a bitch! You got killed. Well, I had a fight, but now what are we gonna do? Heal me. We can't. You're the healer.
Keep them alive. So today was a good day. I got up and I saw the COVID results were there, and then I got the delivery of my furniture. It's supposed to be here in a couple of weeks, but they were able to get it to me early, so it's a pre-Christmas present. Ooh. I got some living room furniture. Like I said, I moved into a place and I've been buying up every little thing beforehand before I got the big stuff, So it's been like 6 months of 200 here, 300 there, 50 over here. And so I finally got all the bullshit done. And now I just got the furniture came today. All I need now is a little coffee table and we're good to go, basically. So that's kind of nice. And then I am now off until January 4th from work. I go back Tuesday the 4th. So yeah. So here's the plan. Because I think I talked about this last summer that I wanted to get, a YouTube channel going, this and that, and put out videos. And then I was off in August and I was like, this is when I'm going to do it. And then Tim had a duck out running the Monday game. This is who wants to run something. And I was toying with that Bronze Age campaign for about a year. And I said, damn it, I'll do it. So I spent my whole week off writing 30-some pages of setting and 30-some pages of rules for the Bronze Age game, which we've been playing on Mondays. And so I didn't do the YouTube thing, but this week off, I'm doing the YouTube thing. Damn it. Before the week is over, God damn it, I will have a YouTube video. And I think my name is youtube.com/Joe the Lawyer. I believe that is. I think so. You guys can get in there and get a, early follow me kind of a thing going. And so I figured you've been doing this now for over a year. I mean, I know you're uploading Anchor to YouTube, but now you're downloading YouTube to Anchor and Spotify. Right. So I thought probably be a good idea. I'm probably not the only guy who's thought about making a YouTube channel who maybe used to blog or just has this, what is it like? What does it entail? So you've been doing this now. I figured it might be good to just give your, advice, YouTube for dummies kind of thing. I am a dummy.
YouTube for dummies. You're looking at a dummy on YouTube. When I started podcasting, I was podcasting with others always. So I was never doing any of the back end. And then I was introduced to Anchor. And Tim Schwartz is one of the people that told me how easy Anchor was to use. And I was like, all right, I'll try Anchor. And Anchor was like the gateway drug, right? It allows you. and you really didn't need or still don't need. Oh, great, man! These people, they know us well, man. They come in with their commercial spam right away now.
Von Rent? What the hell
Yeah,
was that?
that was a commercial spam
Oh, was it?
or
Okay.
porn spam. I wasn't going to go to the link that's not a link to find out
Oh,
what the hell
okay.
it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. Weird. I don't, this is the first time I've ever seen
Yeah,
porn
no, we
or
had
any spam in our
Wednesday night.
channel.
We had it throughout the within the actually we had it within the first 8 minutes. So this isn't quite a
Wow.
record,
Okay.
but man,
Jesus.
pretty darn special. Thank you so much. But Anchor lowered the bar to getting into the industry, and it
Yeah.
meant you didn't need to have chops, technical wise, to do it.
Gear or anything. I mean,
Yeah,
just a
I
regular
mean,
headset.
right. So, and here's the thing: I always believed that if you were going to put up a podcast, you had to, be able to edit and do sound levels and listen. Honestly, when Glenn does his, he does all that. And when
Yeah.
I used a podcast with Glenn, he took out all my f bombs because f bombs were bad.
So you
And,
cut the show duration in half, then basically.
well, pretty much. But it's like, oh, Jay, it's like, I made him work. You had to cut out another f bomb. Cut out. It's like, fuck, dude. Damn it, you got to cut that one out. So I don't edit this stuff. The editing I do is if I'm doing an episode and it's pre-recorded and I fuck it up and it's a really bad fuck up, like I don't know, my son calls in the middle of it and I'll just stop and start anew. And even Rick's like, can't you edit that out? I was like, that I think the editing out will take me more effort than starting back 5 minutes ago because my stuff is short
Well,
anyway.
that's the one thing I did learn is a little bit of sound editing when with Anchor because I found that I was pauses or like I would say some stupid shit like that or pause or cough or some bullshit. So I was like, let me try to figure out how to edit this stuff. And
Mhm.
Audacity is a very very simple editing
It
tool.
is.
So I could figure this out without any kind of like YouTube videos on how to do it. So Audacity is a decent editing tool. So if you want to do something like that, it's not bad.
Yeah, no, Audacity is fun. There's a lot of free tools out there you can use. Um, Here, I actually lost some of my ability and chops. Back in the day,
Hmm.
back when I was first doing videos, back when Feltel Thraxis, what my puppet,
Oh yeah, I remember that.
we're going back. I think I was still working, so we're going back 6 years. I was actually editing in stuff and doing fades and all that stuff.
Really?
Oh yeah, but I
So
was
what you use? What program, man? Because that's
actually.
the real problem here in my head is what do you start with? How do you record it? How do you edit it? I know you said you use SteamYards, right?
Well, but that's not for editing. What was I? My God, I'm trying to find it on my. Uh, it was what was it? It wasn't GarageBand. It was an Apple app, which I don't even know
Okay.
if it's on my
iMovie or
desktop.
something, maybe?
Which one?
iMovie or something like that?
iMovie. Thank you. And I
Okay.
can't find iMovie on my hotbar, but you have it on your iPad,
I do. Yeah, I do. I
and
do.
you can certainly use that. And I was, but you know what? If you're putting out a video a day and your videos are not about special effects. Like, what's my special effect? My virtual green screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so and that was a one-time payment to ChromaCam from years ago, and
Hmm.
they didn't have a. They only had it working for Windows, and I hated using the Windows side, so I forgot about it. And then I
Hmm.
saw they updated it for Mac, and I went to buy a copy, and they told me I already owned it. So it was a beautiful thing. Yeah,
Bunch of love when you do that.
yeah. It's like you already own it, but I
Merry
use.
Christmas, Bill. Merry Christmas, buddy.
Yep. So I use StreamYard not just for my live streams, but also for pretty much most of what I record
Okay.
because it's a simple interface. Um, I don't have to worry about any fiddly stuff. Now, if I was going to do, I don't know, a professional dungeon master with a real
Hmm.
intro
Yeah,
and a
yeah.
real outro and credits and all that stuff. Well, I'd have to spend more time on it, and obviously it wouldn't be a daily cast
Yeah.
because I don't even do title screens for the most part, which
Mm.
many people do, and aren't that hard to do. There are free banner creators that allow you to create banners, which I have used.
Mm-hmm.
We use it for like the live stream.
Oh, dude, I got a resource for that. I have teenage nephews and nieces who, of course, as you know, between ages of 13 and 16, they know everything. So, hey, Matt, what the hell is this? How do you do this? That's depressing, by the way, because when I was 14, I was the neighborhood VCR kid. You know, when the old lady on the paper route got their VCR, I was the one who went on and hooked it up for them. When all the neighbors got theirs, I figured it all out. I was the guy who understood all that shit. Now I'm like, what the hell you do here? I'm asking the kids, what the hell is this? I've become the old guy now, man.
Well, I mean, honestly, go back. I'm 54 now, so go back to, I guess, my God, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was upgrading my own PCs.
Yeah.
And then go forward until my early 30s, I was building my own PCs from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
That was like almost like a hobby, and it was cheaper to get better stuff.
I did the same.
And then I got my my Mac Mini, because I heard good things about Macs, and then I had my Mac Mini and my PC, and I had a switch box to go use the same monitor for both, and my same keyboard for both, and to switch back and forth. And then when my PC died, I was like, screw this, I'm getting an iMac. Because my need to be technical and support when I never have to open this stuff up. I've had a hard drive crash.
Lost the need. I lost the whatever thrill it gave me to be able to be that guy. I don't care anymore, because that guy might blow some shit up and cost me money. So that's over with.
Well, and here's the issue. I mean, I was still that guy until, I don't know, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Because the rest of my family were still using.
Okay.
They were still using Windows laptops. So I would wean them off, like my mother. It's like, oh, Mom, hey, for Christmas, we're getting you an iPad with a keyboard.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, this is like having a laptop and a tablet. I go, yeah, exactly. And then my father, I gave him my old Mac Mini to get him off the Windows PC, and then he was like, oh, I want a laptop. I want it to be Mac. I'm like, let's do it for you.
Do it. Easy.
And then finally gave my sister my old Mac laptop, and that was it. Yep. I no longer had to deal with blue screens of death. I no longer had to. It's like, I don't know. I got. I don't know. I think I have a virus because I can't. I was like, oh Jesus! It's like,
not on a Mac. You don't.
No, you don't have those same headaches. I'm not saying you don't have any headaches, but you don't have those same headaches. Oh my God! So, and if you are going to do actual film editing, Macs are very convenient to do so. I just don't, because I put out content on a daily basis, and
I wouldn't be a daily guy. What I'm going to do is a little bit different than what you do, I think, because again, I don't show myself, right? So they don't want to see this. I'm going to be more like, and this is a couple of guys I follow. You guys probably all heard of Mr. Welch. He's the dude who knows everything about the MyStara setting, right? Great YouTuber. And the same guy, same style as Captain Courageous. Right, both of those guys are fantastic. Oh, dude, he's a fantastic old school YouTube guy. CAPT. Let me find this thing here. Captain Courageous, CORA. It's a weird spelling too. CAPT, CORAJUS. Right. So if you like this guy, I'll put up a link to one of his videos.
I don't know if you can link it, but you can put it up in the private chat, and I'll link it.
Okay, cool. I will put that in there. He put up he just had an interview with Luke Gygax, actually. I've yet to listen to it. Yeah. I haven't listened to it yet, because that's here. I'll put it into the private. So he's another great YouTuber. But what he does, though, is the same thing as Mr. Welch. They never show themselves. They'll show things on the screen. So I'd be doing the voice and adding the video edits, pictures or whatever the hell it is to it. Yeah, Captain Courageous is a fantastic old school YouTube guy. Good audience. I think he's a DJ, so he has a lot of sound and editing skills and all that. And I think video editing too. So he's pretty good. He has a good presentation style, good music and all that stuff too. So, he's a great dude. But if you listen to his stuff, you'll see it. It's the same kind of thing I plan on doing, maybe a once a week thing, like they generally do. I think the Professor Dungeon Master does it once a week. Courageous does every couple or something like that. So it's a different style. That's why I was thinking I probably do need to learn some video editing skills here, something like that. So if we can,
don't look at me for that shit. I can give volume but I'm not going to be one that gives you quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all the bells and whistles. No, I was
Yeah.
like, hey, you want that dollar slice from the pizzeria? We make dollar slices. This is your dollar slice.
That's a good
What?
idea. Speaking of pizza, that's how I'll get Matt over here. I'll bribe him with food. He's a 16-year-old boy. Food, pizza.
Oh,
I'll get him over here to show me how to do this
16, it
shit.
doesn't have to be good pizza. It's not like, oh,
I
we're
know.
gonna get pizza from Patsy's. No, dude.
Yeah, he's a good kid. I got him for his 8th grade for his birthday. I got him a card and usually stuff in there, blah blah blah. And I got him inside of it. He opens it up. He goes, "What the hell?" It's a pack of rubbers. So I'm that cool uncle, you know. He's holding them up in front of the family. What the hell is this?
It's eyeglass clearing white.
Yeah, so you got to learn now, Matt. You got to practice, man, so you do it right.
That and the banana. Just figure it out. Figure it out. Don't
watch
put
a
your
YouTube
lips
video
to
on
it. Don't blow it up. No.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So I'm thinking, you went through, you figured out the mastered the whole YouTube thing. You record it, you upload it. What have you learned? What pitfalls? What things to avoid? What things to don't do this? It took me 5 months to figure that out. You know, shit like that. What do you think?
One thing certainly, there are programs out there or applications out there that will allow you to easily take your audio and upload it to a video format. But what's missing if you upload audio to a video format? Video. So you can do it, and it was uploading it automatically to YouTube, and it was easy. But I was getting, like, on a good day, I would get like 10 views of a video, because who's going to watch a video that has nothing?
Nothing. Yeah, I remember you were dual uploading it. And I was like, why the hell? And it seemed to me like you're cannibalizing your own shit.
Well, but not even. So then, last fall, again, I think COVID allowed us to focus on a lot of things. So last fall, I was like, let me try it in reverse. Okay. Let me do videos and then upload the videos to Anchor.
That was my suggestion. Remember, I was saying you go the other way with it. Every YouTube seems to be the thing.
The YouTube channel took off. It really has done very, very well. I'm very happy with the numbers. And then what happened is Anchor started crapping out on video uploads.
What do you mean?
It was supposed to take and be able to transcode it or translate it.
Yep.
And it would hang. It would take 20 minutes for a 10-minute video So I stopped. Okay, this was back this past September or so. I just stopped uploading. People were complaining, and rightfully so. People that were listening were like, I missed the podcast feed, and why? And it was because I didn't like first, you have a live stream, spending 4 hours in front of my computer, waiting for this, or walking away and coming back. But if your computer went to standby, it would shut down the process. You had to start again. And then Anchor sent me an email saying, hey, would you like to apply to our new program for video uploaders on Spotify or whatever? I was like, sure, what the hell? I was accepted.
Yeah, nice.
And I would upload these videos, the daily videos, and I took the first one, and I was like, all right, I'll upload it to Anchor, and I'll go and I'll copy and paste the headline from the YouTube video, and then the blurb from the YouTube video, and I get back to the Anchor page, and it's already uploaded.
Interesting.
I'm like, that took like less than like a minute and a half.
Wow. And this is now a video that is on Anchor or on Spotify only?
The video is on Spotify, but the audio is on Anchor.
All right. And so when you go to the Apple Podcasts, you're hearing good audio. They've stripped the video off, and you're just getting the audio on Apple Podcasts. So you're getting the audio on Anchor and the video on Spotify and the video on YouTube.
Yeah, it is amazingly simple. So now what I've been doing, and not a perfect solution, I've been binge uploading, usually about 1 to 2 a week. I'll upload a bunch of videos to the Anchor side and allow them. So I did that last night when we were hosting the weekly Discord chat, and I put up 6 recent videos to upload them as Anchor podcasts. And so we're talking just over, say about less than 18 hours ago.
Okay.
They've got about 65 downloads a piece, which I'm not complaining
Okay.
about
Yeah.
in the first 20 hours for something that's already been up on YouTube.
All right.
So I
No,
think that they can work together.
yeah. Now, I
It's
know you don't worry about the money part,
no.
but some people would say, well, you're cannibalizing the thing that would make you money, which is YouTube, right? Because as far as I
Well,
know, you make a penny
Anchor.
per listen off Anchor. That's not a hell of a lot, right? But
Well, here's the thing. You don't get a penny. You get when you have ads running, you can make
yeah,
money on Anchor.
yeah.
Or if you have subscribers. I never pushed subscribers. Glenn has.
Oh,
Glenn
I,
actually has subscribers on Anchor.
really? I didn't know you could have subscribers on
Yeah,
Anchor. That's
you
interesting.
can get paid subscribers. I don't have any.
Yeah,
I was
I
doing
don't do it
okay.
enough. I don't feel justified in asking for money when I put out over COVID once a year, So,
But
I didn't do any.
here's the thing. Anchor allows you to monetize using ads, and that was actually fairly profitable for me early on.
Yeah, you were blowing it
Until
out,
they
man.
stopped offering me ads because I was blowing through them, I guess, too quickly. So, Anchor being monetized, there are Mike and I for the Wednesday night shows of Talking Crit. We're going to be doing sponsorships. We just haven't gotten a PayPal address set up for the convention yet because the money's going to go to support North Texas. But we've already got people interested in supporting that and the other live streams to help out North Texas. So you can monetize this, but you're going to monetize it. I mean, like on YouTube, once you get 1,000 subscribers,
1,000 people, yeah.
1,000 subscribers, you can monetize. The problem when you monetize at 1,000 subscribers is that certain language becomes verboten,
Oh,
forbidden.
really? So you can
Yeah,
say whatever the hell you want until then, but after that,
pretty much, right? Because you're not monetized. But once you
all
have
right.
people, once you're potentially, making money, now advertisers don't necessarily want to support. Like you can drop certain words. You can say, fuck, shit, crap.
You could drop the F-bomb, huh? No problems.
You can drop the F bomb. Just you can't do blankety 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 blankety
All right.
blankety blank.
And I know
But
I
there are
listened to
certain
some
words
YouTube.
you cannot use,
Yeah.
even if they rhyme with a baseball term that is used by a batter, and even if you don't say the word, you say the baseball term instead of the word, you can find just your monetization to be affected for that video.
Oh, I'm missing a word here. I can't even
Not
think
I
of it.
can't I can't
I can't even think of it. I need more coffee, damn it.
Instead of swinging at a ball, trying to put it into play, they can do another action.
All right.
All right,
The word
go.
word that your wife loves to say when we're drinking.
Yes. Yes.
All right, now I get you.
Yes. So
all right.
yeah.
Interesting.
So
Interesting. Yeah, I know that's another word.
that's
I've
another
seen
word
people say
I've learned. You cannot say that. And actually, what's interesting, I've watched history videos. All right, they're animated. They're well done.
Yeah.
Was it the Armchair Historian or whatever? I mean, great.
Yeah.
But they don't show the actual authentic. Yes, they've got to change it. So
interesting.
I guess whatever. Again, if you're making the money I make off of YouTube, which is minimal, and listen, our live streams are usually monetized where people can do super chats. I don't mention it because we don't. This isn't what pays my bills.
Yeah.
So what have we done? We've with this channel and the money's involved. We got bad mic and actual working fucking headset.
Yeah.
That doesn't crap out.
Yep.
It's going to be used to get equipment for people on this team that they wouldn't normally have access to.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I figure if I could build something up, the goal is, a little supplemental bit of income at some point. It's the fun. It's more like the reason I'm doing it mostly. It's just for the fun, new challenge, something new. And if I can make money off it, I'll make money off it. I might do a Patreon. Like I used to do a lot of stuff on the blog right? And I'm thinking, I'm debating whether to go with upgrade the blog to a website like you've done, right? Because your website is essentially your blog, right? That you just sort of moved up,
It moved up.
wasn't it?
It's still the blogger interface.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
just pay $10 a year for
Yeah.
tenkarstavern.com.
I don't
And
know if I'll do that or.
I was going to move it to Squarespace.
Mhm.
And I was trying to figure because I wanted to move, I had all these great plans. And by the way, having great plans are great because they motivate you. And I wanted to do something, which is almost what we turned this channel into. I wanted to turn the blog into a place where more than just my voice would get heard.
Yeah, a hub too. I remember you're talking about making it a hub.
Right. And I would probably need somebody who knows a lot more about website design than I currently know to make that work. Do I have a steady partner on Sundays on the blog? Yes, we have somebody else who posts every Sunday. So I not only don't I have to, but so you have a not Tenkar post that goes up, and it's not my voice; it's somebody else's voice because that's what the hobby is, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we do these multiple live streams. You just don't hear my voice. You get to hear Bad Mike. You get to hear Joe. You get to hear Glenn. You get to hear my wife Rach.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You
Because
had a good one the other night. It was nice. I enjoyed that. It was Rach weighing in on gamer related topics. You know what I mean? That was interesting from her point of view about
yes,
certain controversial things that were going on. It was like this is good. She's a gamer, you know,
yeah.
and she's new to gaming, so she has a different perspective. That was excellent.
And she has a perspective that is defined by her life experiences as somebody working in mental health, uh, drug and alcohol addiction. So she can see it from perspective
Mm-hmm.
that might be different from the
Standard,
grognard that's been
standard
playing
old
since,
man perspective.
yeah,
Yeah.
been playing since she's been 12.
Yeah.
It changes the perspective, which is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I like that. So yeah, this is what I'm going back and forth on is all right, so let's start with the YouTube show. Whether I go with keep the blog, upgrade the blog to a website, or go with some sort of a Patreon, I guess I have to see what the output is because I would feel like an ass if I started charging people, hey, join my Patreon, and I'm putting nothing out other than YouTube videos. Like what Professor Dungeon Master does, I think is really smart. He'll do every YouTube video he puts out. He maybe do 1 or 2 a week at most,
Right.
usually on average. But he has a behind the scenes video where
Yes.
it's an extended edition. So you listen to the 10-minute video on YouTube, but if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get a 15-minute video. You get the 10 plus 5 more or something like that, right?
Right.
And he takes off his tie and his vest and he's sitting there just talking like freestyle, which is different for him because he's very scripted, you know?
Right.
And so I kind of like that's an idea. And he did when we met with him in New York, I was talking about it and he says, oh, hit me up and I could show you, what to do or how to do it and things like that, which is very generous of him. I appreciate that, And so that's one decision point to make, Patreon or not. And what he does on his Patreon is put out content, same kind of shit I used to put on the blog, which if I did the Patreon, I probably wouldn't do the blog, or maybe I'd do the blog, the tease for the Patreon, but I'd have to increase my output of writing, which means I have to stop sitting in front of the fucking TV at night and read and write more.
But Joe, I know I'm going to already tell you, you already have a large amount of writing. It just needs to be shared.
That's it.
Blood Island, your Bronze Age Heartbreaker. The material is there.
It is.
You just got to take what you have and break it up into bite-sized morsels that can be consumed by gamers and have them be bite-sized morsels that stand on their own.
Yeah,
this tastes great. I want more of this, but I can take what I have and put this into my Swords and Wizardry game and run with it. And I think knowing what I know of your material, Joe, having play tested or played in the sessions, it's good stuff.
Thanks,
so I don't think you need to initially go and dig a new well. I think you need to go to your current warehouse and start just pulling things off the shelf and say, "Oh, all right, I can tweak this a little bit, and this will take me an hour to tweak, as opposed to 8 hours to write something brand new that's going to repeat something that I already wrote."
That's true. And I could get input too on it too. That way, that'd be good. The other thing too is I was thinking not just D&D stuff, well, not just old school, be some of the 5e because I do play 5e, run 5e games and play my brothers. That was the other topic of my brother put out. If 5e so lethal, how come people keep dying in my campaigns? I blame it on player skill.
But I mean, come on, let's just be honest.
So, but I was thinking to myself though, I could put up the 5e stuff, the old school stuff. That's a kind of a little crossover. Not a lot of because a lot of old school guys they do old school and that's it, and the 5e guys do 5e and that's it. There's not much of a crossover crowd,
Right?
I think Dungeon Musings does a crossover. Captain Courageous does a little bit. PDM does a little bit. But yeah, there's not too many people doing the crossover. The other thing I was thinking about too is, I mean, I've spent the Matrix movie. I've not seen it yet because I don't subscribe to HBO Max, and I'm not going to subscribe to it because if it sucks, I don't want to watch it, right? But I listened to more than 3 hours of videos talking about spoiler-filled reviews of the movie. Decided I'm going to watch a 2.5-hour movie. So I'm 3 hours invested in reviews of a 2.5-hour movie here. But I wouldn't mind being that guy too, talking about it's a new movie. It's geek shit, nerd shit, and D&D shit. I guess that's going to be the tagline.
Why not?
Yeah, why not expand it a little bit? Broaden the base. So there's a lot of crossover between geek shit, nerd shit, and D&D shit, right? I'm not a comics guy, but I did watch the Marvel movies, things like that, right? But I don't know. It could be interesting. I think it could be interesting. It's just an experiment. Expand your horizons, grow a little bit as the, grow over the holidays. I want to grow something other than my waistline.
Well, here's the thing too, and this is my experience from having started the blog many years ago.
Uh-huh.
I knew I wanted to blog, and I knew kind of about what I wanted to talk about, which was everything.
Yeah.
Old school gaming, independent gaming, tech geek devices to help with gaming, VTTs, all this shit.
Yeah.
And then after doing that for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months, I started finding my voice. And my voice wasn't necessarily what I thought it was, but you start finding a rhythm in what actually works. You find some of that from what the feedback you're going to get. But some of that you're going to find out from, you're going to say, oh, wow, this really comes easily to me, whatever part of it. Like, oh, I thought I was really going to have a lot of fun doing X, but holy shit, Y is where it's at. You just don't know.
Yeah, until you get into it and start talking, I'm not going to be one of those. I think we all follow the same kind of guys. I mean, you watch Clownfish TV or you watch
I watch
Clownfish
TV on a very limited basis, highly intoxicated. And usually as a motivation before doing some like boxing exercising, it's like, all right, I can psych myself up by listening to somebody who's going to talk about a topic that they know absolutely nothing about, but they will pontificate. I could do that, but at least I'll admit that I'm talking out of my ass.
Yep. I mean, you listen to something like the Geeks and Gamers guys and all those people, they're enjoyable, but I don't want to mimic that. You know what I mean? But I do. What I was thinking about, though, is there's a bunch of guys who do really popular YouTube videos, right? Matt Colville and some other people. And I'm thinking to myself, this had to be a great GM guy. I could just do a sort of all his videos and list by popularity. In other words, how many people listen to him. Right. Take the top 5 of each guy's who's put their videos out there, the top 5 topics they've each had, steal their fucking, what do you call it? The hash marks, the hashtag names or whatever you call them for the, you know what I mean? So that thing, keep it the same. What was that?
So what you're going to want to do
is just steal it all and just copy and mimic. At least that as topic wise, I know they're popular.
Here's something to one of Tenkar's little secrets. Now, I forget how much I pay for this. It's got to be less than $10 a month. If it was more than 10, I wouldn't pay for it. But check into vidIQ.
All right, let me write this down. VIDIQ.
VIDIQ. Because vidIQ will allow you to compare keywords and such, and it'll tell you with the keywords that you have what kind of like a ranking for it. It's pretty good. Okay. By the way, we're doing pretty well because I'm going to have to block a third spammer.
Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing this. You got what the hell are these weird ass names? I mean, wow, it was a Russian name too.
Oh, I'm Russian bot. I come in.
It's a Russian bot.
I show you the Russian girl. Yes, you want wife?
Speaking of which, I swear to God, there's a Russian bride down in one of these. I live in an apartment complex, and I see her going down to the laundry room because we have a shared laundry room for a bunch of buildings here. And I'm sitting on my porch drinking coffee the other day on a remote work day, and had a little break. So I'm sitting there, and she's walking down, and goddamn, man, she's like, there's no dude who I've seen in this apartment complex who rates a chick that hot. It's got to be a Russian bride. She's totally wearing the Adidas sweat, the track pants, the whole shebang. It's got to be a Russian bride, man. I'm telling you. Anywho, back to and off of Russia here. But yeah, so those are the things I'm thinking about. I think I'll just let it develop. But before the week is over, like I said, I go back January 4th. Before the week is over, well, first I got a lot of game prep to do for two campaigns: the Bronze Age, the one I'm running up the 5e give my brother, and I want to get the YouTube shit out. So I want to have one out, and I want to have the process down. Basically, is what I want to do. That's the goal. So this is all good advice, man. I appreciate it. And I'm sure I'll be reaching out to whoever, dude, everyone here,
That's the whole. Listen, it's community.
Yeah.
And when we first started, oh man, we are really being hit hard.
Look at this, Abigail Long.
Yeah, I know. Abigail. I was gonna say something that would probably get me demonetized.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is like a record. I don't know. Maybe because it's a quasi holiday. All these individuals are just sitting around with their fingers up their ass and like, oh, look, a live stream that we can bomb.
And their hands down their pants. Yeah.
Oh, it's like,
God.
Or it's just one person's like, I will keep on trying until I get through.
Hey, I got a new topic here for you. I'm going to put the link in here. This is something. Have you been hearing what Rob Connolly's been doing? Rob Connolly, Bat in the Attic blog. He put out. There's the topic, and you get the very first one. He put it out just today. He did something amazing because he always does, right? He has the mind and technological skills to handle this.
Right.
The Flannis, the Greyhawk Flannis Geographical Society Facebook group. He says, I noticed that Zach started to post a cleanup of the original Darlene Greyhawk map. One of the things he did was to go through the map with Photoshop and removed all the hexes, which was a monumental task. And so Rob realizes that you can digitalize that version and make a crisp, clean copy of the original Greyhawk map. He talked to a guy named Zach, and he broke out his work in layers, added things like text, hills, symbols, things like this. And what he did was he exported it to a file which contains most of the map, and it is released under the fan content policy. It is a layered PDF. And basically, you could zoom the shit in on this map big time. And I think it's called a vector or something or another like that. I don't understand it. But essentially, you could zoom and zoom and zoom and not lose quality content. Right. So it's really an amazing thing. He put a shit ton of work into this thing, a long time. So you can see what he did in there. But it's like you could zoom the hell in on this map and you have it, boom, right there. So Greyhawk Ragnar, if you listen to me, you may want to link to this thing. Yeah, a whole lot of work he did, and it's excellent. So you can see what all that, you can download it right there. You can put everything on top of it. He did a hell of a job. This is just for fun.
Yeah, go figure
that
out,
He did a lot of work for the community. Speaking of community helping each other out, this is just purely, he doesn't even use Greyhawk. He's a Wilderlands guy. But he just did a lot of work for the community here, and you guys go there and check it out and see, give him some kudos and credits. And if you like his work, go over onto his Majestic Wilderlands. He puts out stuff on RPG, or Drive Through RPG. I almost said RPG now, still saying that old phrase.
I am too, man. I have dead links on my blog just to go to RPG now.
Really? Yeah.
They no longer redirect. So
yeah. So yeah, he put out good shit there, and you can pick up a lot of his stuff. And he put out a lot of Wilderland stuff. He's owed some money, I guess, and so once he gets paid off what he's owed, you will not be able to buy that anymore. Okay, so once he sells out of that stuff, you may want to get on there and pick it up, because I think a lot of people are getting a lot of stuff for Christmas here. Speaking of which, anything, I know you're doing the old school gamer Christmas here, right? The giveaway.
The All-Star Christmas,
yeah. So anything, what's going on with that, man?
We have every day of OSR Christmas has shipped to the U.S. only, has the last 6 books of the Arduin series. So not the first two, not the trilogy.
Okay.
The last 6, every day has a set of those going out. So there's still another 4 sets of those to go out. I believe day 9 will go up either later on today or tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And the game plan is we're going to have day 13 of the 12 days of OSR Christmas, or on or about 3 Kings Day. And that's going to be a huge. And listen, aside from Arduin, we have other PDFs and other print products from a lot of other publishers. But the last day is going to be pretty much, I think, one of everything or damn close to it for Arduin, and a bunch of other stuff that we've been holding back to make sure people follow to the end. All you got to do is comment on the blog side when these posts go up. They're usually up for about 48 hours.
That's easy
Comment.
enough.
And if you when you comment, you got to say whether you're in the USA or not, because some of the stuff shipping to outside the USA is more than the cost of the actual product itself. But we do have certain things, like I give out Drive-Thru RPG gift certificates every day, and those are reserved for people outside the U.S.
Hey, speaking of outside the U.S., dude, Graji was interviewed by the pundit and his inappropriate characters group.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I did not.
It was interesting. He was there for like 2 hours, and he did this long ass interview. I talked to him for about an hour or two one day on a Sunday afternoon here, and just to touch base, see what's going on. This is pre our talking about it, you know,
right?
And before he wrote that long missive, which on his blog, which pretty much was the content of most of our conversation. But yeah, he went into a lot of detail about what's coming out, what he's doing, this and that. Surprised, he says he doesn't really talk to Zach that much, except for the business part of things. So that was interesting. But yeah, he's still doing all right. He's still surviving. Speaking of overseas, so I'm kind of glad. He did spark a lot of shit, man. He was the first guy who did something different with the retro clones. He said, I'm going to make a retro clone that's take the skeleton and make it fucking weird. It's kind of revolutionary. A lot of people did it.
He pushed the boundaries, and I'll be honest with you. I think Raggy's best stuff, writing wise, not production wise. Production level has gone through the roof. His shit is second to none. I will be the first to say it.
Absolutely.
But his own writing quality, I'm not saying about the quality of the people that he hires. He hires some great, some great writers. Courtney Campbell is one of them. A number of others, but his own personal writing I personally think has suffered from when he first broke in. So the ref book's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going to need some really heavy editing to make it something that's going to be usable, dare I say.
Well, he did go on a little bit too long about politics. Discussed Courtney calling him out on this stream last Friday. I didn't know that. So I got about an hour into it. Then I had to stop. Hour 15. So Raji went on and to discuss Courtney called him out on this stream last Friday. Really? So they talked about us?
Well, I don't think Courtney called out Raggy, because Courtney writes for Raggy.
Yeah. I'll have to finish listening to this thing then today and see what the hell they talked about, because that's interesting. If they talked shit about, I don't know. I don't want to say they talk shit. I'm just reading what you're saying there. So that's interesting. It's interesting. All right, Dwayne, back to fence building. Merry Christmas. Yeah. Dwayne is in my Sunday Bronze Age group. Speaking of Sunday Bronze Age group, I'm sitting there last Sunday.
Right.
And I play 2 games, right? The Monday with you guys, you and Tim and everyone, right? And Rob and and Greg. And we playing that. That's our Monday group, which we're getting back to in January. Now,
okay, cool.
I also have a Sunday group, which it's irregularly scheduled. It's mostly because one guy has his daughter plays with us. And she's about 19, and she has the job that she has to put in for time on Sunday off. She works at a Home Depot kind of place, right? So it's subject to when she could take Sundays off. So I said it's up to her with every 3 or 4 weeks. Sitting there last Sunday, and the father sends me a text. Hey, how much are extra bowstrings? So I'm like, that's a random ass question for 6 o'clock on a Sunday night. And then I'm like, Sunday night. Fuck, it's a game night. Shit. So I look at the schedule, like, God damn it is. So we played it normally at 7. So I said, let's start at 8. So we got a couple hours in. But thankfully, I had prepared so much for the last session. I always over prepare. I always think I'm under preparing. It was triple prepare though, so I was still good to go. But it's like son of a bitch. So at a like last minute game, Yeah. So it's kind of interesting. But we're getting back into that too. Here's one thing too. I found a blog post the other day. It's here. I'll give you the link. People could look on. I'll put it in the private chat. It talks about modules and module use because I spend more time looking for a module that I could drop in, and then would have to spend time to adjust and play with and tweak than I would if I just fucking wrote the thing. For a quick session, a 5-6 room dungeon or something like that, it's like, well, that's shit, man. It's just easier, especially if you're looking for Roll20 map versions or something like that. Right. And this guy has an interesting take. This is 42ducttapeblogspot.com. And he says, my players consistently badger me to run this module, that module, and they want to, play these different things. And he says, essentially, his point of view is it has to be part of the setting, it has to fit into the setting. You can't run the module just as a one shot. And that's what we used to do as kids. We would just grab a module, but there's no sense of a campaign. But this guy, he has the same point of view I do. He says, I tend to ignore all the modules coming out of Kickstarters, whether they are old school adjacent or not. No use for them, and they're a detriment. And here's an interesting thing he says. I feel they are a detriment to DMs really fulfilling their potential. That's interestingly controversial, I think, because he says, basically, first point, doesn't need somebody doing his imagining for him, which is a Gygaxism from back in the day, until Gygax could make money off it. And then he gets into the whole thing about prep and time and this and that. And then you get into basically people saying, well, they're good for beginners. And he says, no. He says modules are not good for beginners because basically it's a lack of confidence is really the main issue for beginners, whether they're running a module or not. And he says all DMs that he noticed who start their own material tend to run better sessions. And more importantly, they tend to stick with it and they want to learn how to be better. They desire to learn and grow. As a DM is stifled when half the job is done by somebody else. It's nearly impossible to really know the setting if you don't make it yourself. All right, fight. That's it. I thought there was a controversial statement there, because
I think listen, when you're taking a third-party setting, you have to make it your own, and you don't want to run something that Forgotten Realms. Your players are going to tell you, no, you're wrong. That's not how. I have Elminster's Guide to Buttholes, and it tells me that these buttholes are this size. You're wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. All right. Well, I don't have that Elminster's Guide, so fuck. By the way, Fugly wants to know how much were the bowstrings.
I believe there were 20 copper, but in my setting, it's a bronze-based system rather than gold. So there's 100 copper to a bronze, and generally costs you, if you want to, it gives you a rough sense of, it takes you a few bronze to pay for food and housing for a week. So 20 copper, and that's, gives you a rough idea of the cost stream. So yeah. But and this guy here, who is it? Shadzar, dropped the module in and populated, dropped the dungeon in the module in your game, I populate it yourself, which is kind of what I do a lot of the time. I'm looking for, I can't tell you how many times I've Googled Roll20 dungeon map or Roll20 cave map or something like that. And then I boom, there I got that. Now let me just put some shit in there, that's kind of it. You have to make it fit your setting. You really do. I think there's no way around that.
Oh, we're up to 6, man. I'm just wacky spammers, man. This is Christmas Eve. On the 6th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me.
Spam.
6 YouTube spammers. 5 out of mine.
God, that voice. When Eric starts singing, you know that the eggnog is laced with something potent. So
I got to drive out. The moment that we end this live stream, I already packed the car. I have to pack the car now with the family to go out to Long Island to my sister's house to do Christmas Eve, where we exchange gifts with my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece.
Yep.
Come back home to then exchange gifts between my parents, Rachel, and myself. Rachel and I have pretty much. I'm wearing one of my Christmas gifts from Rachel. It arrived. We ordered it on Black Friday. It arrived today. It's from Cuts, which, by the way, makes some great shirts as long as you've started to lose weight. This is a double X,
All right.
and it fits perfect. And I could not wear my firearm underneath it concealed if I wanted to, because it would look like, is that a gun on your side? Is your penis sticking out of you? Never mind. It's just pretty interesting. But I was like, we give throughout the year, so Christmas is just when we give to other people. So it's gonna be a lot of gifting today. So I'm bringing my own hot tea with me to my sister's house, so I can.
Yeah, good tea and lemon or something. Yeah.
I don't want to even start getting tempted, because I'll get tempted with the wine. It's like, shit, Pop, do you want to drive home?
Start ramping it up from the wine on there, right?
Yeah. So.
God, yeah. So this is here, Shadzar again. Modules are good for when you have no time, but the problem is people think modules are the one true way how a game is played. That is my problem with 5e modules, because the 5e modules are all this 128-page thick book, or the Dragon one is 2 books, and it becomes, and I can't blame them, because if you're starting 5e and you see this as a book, and you see that this is an adventure, and this adventures are made, and it's a path, and it's chapter by chapter railroad of a story, that's what you think D&D is. The same way we thought D&D was play one module after another when we were 13 years old, right? That's what we thought D&D was. No sense of a campaign. The 5e stuff has a very much of a sense of a setting and a campaign implied and implicit in there, and there's big stuff going on, but they throw you the railroad thing, whereas ours weren't so much railroad. It was more, dungeon in the woods or whatever the hell, go in and explore and kill shit and take your stuff. So I can't blame them for thinking this is the way it's done. And I think that's what Shadzar is getting to, it's something in the middle has to be the real way to do it. But do you think that modules cripple somebody's imagination, or make it so that they can't figure out how to be a good DM, or it hurts them, stunts their growth long term? Or is it just a necessary stepping stone?
I think they're a useful tool.
Yeah.
I think the issue becomes run as written, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention the play test that's involved, but I ran it as written, and if I was running it myself, I would have added a lot more content.
You're talking to him remote?
All right, so I'm talking about. I personally would have. Now, I know the conceit to the design was we're going to design it as per the tables in AD&D 1E DMG, where 40% of the rooms are, empty. I understand the conceit, but the conceit does not work in real life with the groups that I run and my style of DMing. So what I should have done is I should have not run it as written, but run it as I'd want it to run. And that is something that you learn from DMing modules, right? You learn which ones work for you and which ones don't. Which ones work for your group. So I can take an adventure off the shelf, and I've done this. I think you might have played in this when we were doing the Friday night B team. I would take DCC adventures and run them in Swords of Wizardry.
I think that's eminently skinnable. The DCC stuff, it really is. I think it works.
The adventures are great.
Yeah,
as long as you're thinking now. But here, the adventures are not adventures that fit into a campaign that's driven by a campaign. It's made for episodic.
Yes, they're one shots.
They're one shots.
Yep.
And then your party recovers from that, and now I guess after 3 months of partying in, I don't know, the city of Brass Ass. Now you're broke, and now you're looking for your next adventure, or you got bored and you started becoming caravan guards, and now you're in your next adventure. That's meant for that type of gaming, which can work, which works well if you're working with a group that it plays sporadically.
Yeah,
If you've got a weekly group, campaigns with a big ongoing arc is great. If you have a sporadic group, actual smaller arcs that are 1 or 2 sessions work best, because you're maybe swapping out players, or you got maybe 6 weeks between game sessions. You don't want to have these big overarching dramas playing out behind that players are not going to appreciate.
I think in the G Plus days, Sean Sanford ran a regular Saturday game like 2 to 4. And we would jump in. It was a flail snails game, which meant you could you Google flail snails as a type of thing. It was basically you could bring any character from any kind of old school system into this, whether it was, Swords and Wizardry, AD&D, some sci-fi game, Gamma World, whatever the hell. You got a character, bring him in, and you make the DM makes some adjustments on the fly, fits it in. Your plus 48 great sword may not work. It may be a plus 2 in this setting, but you fit it in. And he was running a lot of stuff. He ran modules as written, which was kind of fun because you get to read and play the modules as written, which was what you were doing with Doom Mount. Is right. What we asked you to do is play test the module as written. Like we wanted to give it a run for its money, and so he would do this, and he ran old D&D stuff and the Dark Tower. He ran that. And that was fun. And then he jumped into a DCC module, and I bring the same character over, and they were fun modules, good maps, I don't like the DCC game because of the uncertainty factor of Magic and some other weirdisms. But the adventures modules are great, really great. And yeah, they're well worth it. Good maps, you could reskin them into anything really. So it's a good time. So who was this? Adam Miller. I like site-based modules where the story is minimal and you get a map and a series of key descriptions. How you play is up to you and your players. And he's citing G1 through 3, B1 through 2, T1. Yeah, I like the text box because the text box, I know a little controversial there, but I like the text box because it lets you put the author's voice into your game, which is a little bit homage to the author. But then you skin it and make it your own too, or whatever might be in there. But you get the author's voice. So I kind of like that. But yeah, I agree. Well, I think there's a use, but they're just you can't discount them entirely like this guy did, I think, and you have to adapt them in some way to make them worthwhile.
Well, and Chanter has another interesting point. The adventure path isn't a bad idea, but it isn't the only way to play it. It's just an example of how one author made his game.
Yeah,
I'm going to take you a little bit further. An adventure path is useful for organized play, because everybody plays the same thing and everybody goes on to the next thing and you keep everything in line. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Adventure paths are not good for home campaigns.
No.
Where players want to make their own decisions.
No.
You have different expectations in both situations.
Yeah. You're sitting there you bought the 6-thing adventurer's path from Pathfinder. You spent all the time reskinning it over, and then you're good to go. When you got these 6 books that you spent $50 on, or I don't know, maybe you tweak them up or whatever, and you're sitting there and your players hang a left. And next thing you know, all that $50 is wasted because they're taking the ship to the other continent and saying, fuck that plot hook. And you're like, God damn it. So it could be a waste.
They can't have you.
Spent all this time on nothing, motherfucker.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's I think Paizo. Well, I mean, the first adventure path, let's get real, was Dragonlance, right? D1 through 14, DL 1 through 14 or 15 or whatever the hell there was, and they did a good job. It's very different. And you look at it now, it looks primitive and it's all over the place in terms of style. Some of it was military based, some of it you assume things happened, some of them were just background, but that was the first thing. And then Paizo just ran with it. That was their gig when they started doing that stuff. And 4E and 5E, just started copying that because it worked. Yeah.
Very valid. Well, I am going to call our show at the 1 hour mark only because I got drunk. We could do this easily for another hour.
Yeah.
Because it's a really good conversation. But it is the afternoon of Christmas Eve.
Yes, it is. I like the way that's almost like the 111st birthday where you just said that.
Yes,
where the hell it is.
But it's the afternoon of Christmas Eve, and I know that not all of our viewers and listeners are Christian. I know I know we have a few pagans, agnostics. I know this because I personally know the people. But whether you're Jewish, Christian, whatever your faith is, it's the season. We just had the winter solstice. Religions throughout the years have respected this time as a time of change, right? And time of reflection. So we're going to have the next week is going to be the new year. So I hope that everybody has a very blessed and healthy, especially in the midst of the shit that we're in the midst of, 2022. Is that the right year? I've lost track at this point.
I know. It's a blend of bullshit. I know at this point. Hey, but before we go, though, since we won't see each other till after the new year, and probably, I guess our next one, Eric, is we do 2nd and 4th, right?
Yeah.
So we got to skip on 31st, right? Because that's
Right.
so it's the second would be the 14th. So we won't be back until then. So before you go, any New Year's resolutions? Are you willing to announce publicly?
Well, actually, no. I really want to make sure that I continue improving my health.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting a goal with my Apple Watch to get credit for 30 minutes of exercise on the day.
Yep.
I'm doing about 5 out of 7 days right now from hitting that. I'd like to be 7 out of 7. I'll be happy with 6 out of 7 because I know there are some days where you just, you're all over the place and you're not.
Yeah.
But I have realized and I have seen that by doing such, my blood sugar is under better control.
Yeah.
My weight stays managed. And as somebody with congestive heart failure,
Mm-hmm.
I pee a lot more when I exercise, and that's great.
Yeah, absolutely.
I push the fluids through. So
yeah, it keeps the blood pressure too, man.
So that's really it. I'm not gonna say, oh, I want to do more creativity. I'm not going to do any of that stuff because if you don't have your own health, then the rest of the stuff falls to the side anyway. So
yeah. I agree. I'm going to work on that too. I'm going to keep losing weight. I want to be a certain goal by my birthday, and so let's get to that goal. Get healthy, exercise more. That's the main priority because we're all getting old, dude. Right. Yeah. And then secondarily produce stuff like rather than be a passive sit on your ass, watch TV, and consumer, I want to read and make more things. All right. So rather than just watch TV. So that's why another thing I'm churning with the YouTube thing, maybe make a little cash from it. Who knows?
Well, then Joe, I'm going to make the suggestion with the YouTube thing. If you're going to do it once a week, have it at a certain time and a certain day and a certain time. Like you release your new YouTube episode every Thursday at 8 p.m. And if you know what, and even if you don't, because it's only going to be once a week.
Yeah.
Even if you don't do it live, release it as a premiere. So then.
Well, that's what I'm going to. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Release it as a premiere. So it's kind of like going live without being live.
Yeah.
And you can sit in the chat box and talk with people and give feedback.
Oh, that's cool. That's how that works.
That might really work for you.
Okay, that's cool. I would like that. Yeah,
that's what the Deal Guy. And if anybody has watched the Deal Guy, he's great on YouTube. He's got whether he's shopping on Amazon, Costco, BJ's, wherever, Dollar Tree. He's got some. He'll find the right deals for you.
All right.
But he does a lot of these live premieres where it's pre-recorded, but he sits in the chat. And we'll talk with you as it goes on.
That's cool. I like that idea. And then it's up there for good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That works. That works for me. I'll give that a shot. So, yeah. So, health and content. There you go.
Yeah. There we go.
That's it.
I can hit content in, but I don't want to fall on my face.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, happy holidays, everybody, whatever holiday it is. And try to be, I think this is a safe thing without criticizing. We could all always be better people to each other. So that's my wish for everybody. Try to be better to everybody.
Yeah, like Bill and Ted, man.
Just
channel your inner Bill and Ted.
Yep. And I believe that my YouTube channel there, Fugly, I haven't put anything up yet. I think I only got a couple subscribers, but it's youtube.com/Joe the Lawyer, all one word. All right, my name. So hop in there and subscribe. And my goal, like I said, is by the new year to have a video out, and then I'm going to probably do one a week if I can. All right.
And by the way, if you watch this channel when Joe's video goes up, I will be sure to mention it and link it in the latest video that I do at that time. Shadzar, thank you for the Christmas tree and the menorah. I like that. It's
very nice.
Cool. Listen, I do this with every video. We're in the midst of the world of COVID. I'm not saying get vaxxed, don't get vaxxed. I'm not saying wear a mask, don't wear a mask. I'm just going to say use your common sense. Keep yourself, your family, your friends, your loved ones healthy and safe. Be safe, be well. God bless. And during this holiday season, each and every one of you, roll your dice well. And I will be back tomorrow, maybe with a premiere with Rach. I don't know. We got to figure this out for tomorrow.
Yeah. Merry Christmas to Rach as well. I don't see her in the background there, but I don't know if she hears me.
Probably not. She's probably got the headphones on. All right.
All right, guys. Take care.
Be good.